This is the Crow Stone. The first one of these was erected in 1755. And on the other side, in Kent, there's another stone called the London Stone. And these mark the end of the Port of London Authority, where the River Thames, after 200 miles, finishes and finally joins the sea. Working River is a CD of 21 songs. Each song reveals that the Thames has another history, one of toil, one of migration, rebellion, mutiny, smuggling, love, mudlarking, and even snatches of simple pleasure on this eternally changing river. To many people, the Thames represents a place of leisure, a pleasure boat ride, a jog along the banks, but historically, the Thames, particularly for the poor, represented a place of hard labour and struggle. It's been described as the hardest working river in the world. We have a song about the successful dock strike of 1889 when workers took industrial action for better paying conditions. And my favourite, a marching chant from the Match Girl strike a year earlier, which saw thousands of girls as young as 12 walking out against low pay and appalling conditions. And they won. And without that strike, the dock strike would not have been successful. You couldn't possibly make a Working River CD without a collection of Thames barge songs. The iconic red sails of the Thames barge dominated the river for centuries. And coincidentally, the last commercial sailing barge, captained by the singing bargeman himself, Bob Roberts, left Tilbury Dock exactly 50 years ago. Today, many barges have become rotting hulks in the estuary mud. But if you're lucky, you can still see beautifully restored barges at the annual Thames Barge Race. Many of these songs record forgotten events. The wreck of the pleasure ship Princess Alice in 1878, the largest ever loss of life in the Thames, over 700 people. Yet no one's ever heard of it. Why? Maybe because they were members of the lower classes, who knows? In 1787, one of the largest naval mutinies took place, just over there, on the North Sandbank. The Nore Mutiny brought the Admiralty to its knees. In fact, it was the first time the revolutionary red flag was raised. Yet another Thames story that seems little known. In his book, Sacred River, Peter Ackroyd speculates how the most famous piece of music associated with the Thames, Handel's Water Music, was first performed in 1717 on vessels accompanying the royal barge carrying George I from his Whitehall Palace to Chelsea. He suggests that this loud royal display may have been designed to drown out what he calls vulgar abuse from the Thames watermen and their egalitarian sentiments hallowed by tradition on the river. It's these vulgar voices that we were interested in, the sound of a working river.